Welcome to Hop On Calls, a short, tactical, and practical podcast for outbound sales professionals looking to level up their game by learning from actual cold calls that I make every week live on LinkedIn. My name's Kevin Hopp, and I'm all about helping outbound sales professionals hone their craft and build high-quality pipeline. Let's dive right in and see what we can learn in this episode. Hey, and that's Kevin with the Call Guys. How you doing today?
Fine. What is this concerning?
Yeah, Ishita, I know I'm calling you out of the blue here. Did I catch you with a quick minute and I can tell you exactly why I'm calling?
Good PBO.
I have a meeting in a couple of minutes, so this is...
I actually do too, like at the half hour at 10:30 I'm walking into the meeting. Is that when your meeting is? Ishita?
Ooh.
She said she had a meeting and then
she swiped left.
She hung up.
She swiped left on you.
Swipe left. Dang.
All right, I'm gonna keep it going.
Why don't we make Tinder for sales where founders can swipe left?
Do you want a meeting? Do you want to be pitch slapped by this company? Yes? No?
Yes. They'd open their Tinder and they would be like, do you want to take a meeting with this company this week or not? Swipe left or right.
Hey, Justin, it's Ronen Pessar. How have you been? Justin, can you hear me? Hello? Coming through strong, clear, loud? Justin? I can hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Oh, I got you. Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, there you are. All right.
Hello.
Hey, yes. I know I'm catching you out of the blue here. This actually is a cold call. Mind if I share why I'm calling you? And then you can decide if you want to hang up?
Sure, sounds great.
Awesome. I guess before I do my whole dog and pony show here, I should probably ask you, are you already thinking about or invested in any outbound strategy? So SDRs or external services?
Yeah, we have one on staff. We're probably not a good fit for you just because our sales cycle is very long. Our deal size is very big. And so it's less about volume and more about quality.
That's volume and quality and large ASPs is exactly what we specialize in. So again, my name is Ronen Pessar. I'm one of the co-founders at the Call Guys. Hey, out of curiosity, I know you just mentioned you already have one SDR on staff here. Do you already, is that person able to get you to 4 to 5x coverage of the pipeline that you're going for in a predictable manner?
No.
No worries. That's actually why I was reaching out. Have you ever considered working with consultants who have built SDR teams for other companies? That can help you have more predictability through proven processes and techniques. Anything like that ever cross your radar?
Yeah, we've tried a couple of things. I think the problem for us is that you really, in order to actually get a meeting in our space, you really have to be you have to have deep expertise in what we do. And, an outsourced version of that just hasn't ever really worked for us because of that, that expertise is just so crucial to actually getting a meeting.
Totally. Yeah. Actually, we're not outsourced. We would be in-house consultants. So essentially what we do at the Call Guys, just to clarify, is we'd come in for 3, 6, or 9 months and just help you stand up an internal SDR team built the way that I was able to build one at a unicorn tech company from almost nothing to now over 120 million ARR. So kind of the same processes that we've learned over the course of our careers. We'd help you build out the same one for your stage of company. Look, I know I'm catching you out of the blue here. Actually, the reason for my call is to find a better time. Would it be totally insane if we did a quick eval with you sometime next week to see if we might even be able to help?
Man, my schedule is terrible. I'm probably not even the exact right person to be talking to. I'm the one that wants more deals through the pipeline for sure. But
just to confirm, you are the CEO, right? You're overseeing. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you couldn't be the right person. I'm going to call BS on that, Justin.
I mean, it's just like, I have people on my team that are that bear responsibility for that pipeline. And
well, that's actually great. We don't want to work with companies that don't already have people responsible for that. So that makes it even more of a fit. But look, I don't want to strong arm you into anything. If you're not looking for ways to create that consistent, predictable pipeline, no stress at all. Like, I totally get timing is everything here. But if you'd be open to hearing a few ideas, no strings attached, and just getting a chance to meet myself and my partner, Kevin, how would maybe this time next week on Tuesday look for you?
How about, rather than put time on my calendar, which is precious, would love just if you can send me an overview or even just your website, and I can get a sense for what you're doing. And then I would probably introduce you to my chief growth officer, who is thinking about this problem. I'm happy to come to a meeting once she sort of takes a look and decides it's a good use of time.
Fair enough, Justin. I just sent you a connect request on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn, I feel like, really speaks for me more than anything else. So take a look at that. And your chief growth officer is the one who would ultimately be the one overseeing a program like this, if I'm understanding correctly.
It's true. Yep.
Okay. I don't even want to try to pronounce her last name. Okay, cool. Great. Well, I'll tell you what, I just sent that connect request. And to be honest with you, I have done this a long time, as you can tell. And every time I send an email to someone, I have still never heard back from anyone. So, shocker. So, would it be really too insane if we just found some time to pencil in after, of course, you and I get a chance to take a peek at maybe my LinkedIn profile and see if something like what I do might be a fit?
Yeah, I'm probably not going to put them on the calendar right now. But yeah, let me chat with you about it and get back to you.
Okay, great. Well, I will let you go back to whatever I interrupted you while you were doing it. But Justin, great to connect with you. And I look forward to possibly hearing from you if you think this is something that you want to create more predictability with your outbound process.
Sounds great. Thanks, Ronen.
Take care, Justin. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Okay, what'd I do wrong? Give it to me.
So he said
he said no 3 times.
Yeah,
to me, and he hit me with 3 or 4 objections also.
Yeah. So, look, man, I don't know if you have a future in this. Have you ever tried looking into customer support?
Ooh, that hurts. He told me he's going to take a look, and then he told me who would ultimately make the decision on his team, his chief growth officer.
Yep.
He's like, let me talk to her first, and then we'll pencil something on the calendar after we take a look to see if this would be a fit.
Yeah.
It's like, that sounds fine. Pushed again for the time, and he was like, no, I just don't want to pencil anything in yet.
Yeah.
So he said no to me 3 times. Usually when they say no twice, I try to move on, but I went for 1 extra. 3 was a pretty good, no, I understand exactly what you're doing. But you know what was interesting? His feedback, he thought we were outsourced SDRs. Yep. Which is great feedback for the pitch. That sounded too much like you hire us, we do meetings for you. And he was like, no, I'm just not looking for that right now. I've worked with companies like that. It never works. I was like, hey, that's a good hook, because we would teach you and your team how to do this the right way.
Yep. So very, very common for anytime you say outbound or sales development, you got to remember that the outbound as a service companies dominate this space, and they do a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of this. They do a lot of cold calling and cold emailing. So founders, when they hear outbound or they hear top of funnel or they hear leads, they hear any of that, they go, oh, no, I don't want to buy any of that, right? Because they get hit with it sideways all the time. I think what was interesting was not going down what his chief, I would have asked questions about his chief growth officer, right? Said, I'm not the guy. Okay, cool. If you're not the guy and she is, what do you know about her plans? Or what do you know about the go-to-market in general? To try and align with him, this is an area that we can help, or this is an area that you can't help, right? Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. He did. I like that question and answer, because when I said, hey, do you already have 4 to 5x coverage of pipeline? He was just like, no. And I was like, okay. Sounds like you took offense to that question, so maybe I should ease up on it a little bit. But then he opened up a little bit more, just to being like, I'm not really the one who makes the decision. I was like, aren't you the CEO? He laughed. He laughed twice in that call. I got to find the recording and post this one. It's a fun one. He laughed at the opener and he laughed at that comment when I said I'm going to call BS on that.
I love that.
And he laughed at the email objection handle. When I told him I've never heard back from anyone, he chuckled at that too. So I got 3 laughs in that call. And,
wow. It's actually very rare. Very rare that you wouldn't book it if they're laughing that much, right?
I think he wanted to, but legitimately, he's like, look, this is thing, not my thing. He's the CEO focused on who knows what. But he said 2 really good things for us. Big deal size, long deal cycles. So for them, and he said it's a highly complex product. So for them, he was like, yeah, I just don't know if something like that would be a fit for a velocity. Or he said something like a velocity synonym. Like, I don't know if it'd be a fit for what we do. And that's when I hit him with, that's actually exactly where we do well. When we focus in on people who have large deals that aren't sure about where they're going to head in long deal cycles, because you want to keep the pipeline fresh during that time. Hey, David, it's Ronen Pessar. Hey, look, this is a cold call. You want to roll the dice?
See, today, I'm on a call right now. What is this concerning, please? I don't recognize your name.
Yeah, that was actually the reason for my call, was to introduce you to the call guys. But it sounds like I'm catching you in the middle of something. When would be better?
I started probably. I mean, just send me. Where'd you find this number?
Great question. A database called ZoomInfo. They're a public company that has a lot of numbers. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Go ahead and send me an email. I'm just david@litprotocol.com. This is my personal number, not my work number. I'm going to get myself removed from ZoomInfo. Thanks.
You bet, David. I will send that email over your way.
Thanks.
I literally heard his meeting going on.
Yeah.
I heard it.
You gotta love those. That's what Dan was talking about that earlier here, right? So if you're in a meeting, why'd you pick up the phone? Shoot, I don't know, man.
All sorts of reasons.
Yeah, my theory is people absolutely love questions. The human brain has an affinity for questions. People like to be asked questions. So the phone is ringing, it's the form of a question, and someone's going to be like, I want to know what someone wants from me. Because what if they want to give me something? What if I won a prize? What if whatever, right? Like people think the best in a cold call, and that's why they're generally disappointed when it's a salesperson.
There's all sorts of reasons, right? Like if you have kids and they go to school, you see a number you don't know, you're like, are my kids okay?
Yes.
So you have anxiety brain. And then when someone's like, I'm a cold caller, you get angry because you're like, hey, I was just concerned. Yeah. Another reason is like you're waiting for someone to call you. Maybe it's an investor. Maybe it's a candidate you're trying to hire. In the case of founders and CEOs, they speak with a lot of candidates, especially when they're growing. Most CEOs want to be the final interview for their company. It's very common practice. It could be all sorts of people. So especially when they're already distracted, like they're on a meeting, they're going to answer the phone. I think the key there is to get to the punch fast of who you are to help them clarify like what the purpose is, which is why that time I went with the roll the dice opener. And I said like, hey, this is a cold call. You want to roll the dice? And he just kind of paused. I heard the gears turning. And then he was like, I don't know what this is about. Who are you?
Yeah, the roll the dice one is a Ronen thing. And I'm not sold that it's a great idea because roll the dice means that phrase means different things to different people.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But like, obviously you've used it with great success. And I think this is part of the beauty of our partnership is like, there's not one way to do this. There are multiple ways to do this, and it's all about finding what works best for you. It's very interesting that you say roll the dice. I wouldn't say that because it might trigger something in them that's negative as opposed to positive. You ever had that experience where someone's like, roll the dice? Like,
no, it either gets no response or a laugh. it either gets either dead silence, which is like I didn't land the timing of the joke well, or the person wasn't really paying attention to what I said. Or they start chuckling, and sometimes they'll laugh and even be like, "No, I'm good," but that was funny.
I like that. Oh, hey, this is Kevin with the Call Guys. How you doing today?
I don't know who Kevin and the Call Guys are. Why are you calling me?
That's right, David. It's a cold call. If you got a minute, I can explain exactly why I'm reaching out. Or are you busy?
All right, I'm intrigued. Make it quick, though, please.
I will make it very quick. David, I was reaching out here. I'm on your LinkedIn. I noticed that you're in consulting, but I might have had you down as someone who works full-time at a tech startup. If you are a consultant, I'm a consultant as well. The Call Guys, we do outbound sales, strategy, process, and training. Does that conflict with what you do or offer?
I have right now no challenges generating business. I'm actually turning business away. I'm so busy. So I don't need help with outbound marketing, funnel, pipeline, any of that stuff.
Sure. Not for your consulting business, right? So I'm asking, I'm not, I guess what I'm saying is I'm not trying to have a conversation about pitching you anything. I'm saying, hey, we are in business that is tangential to you, and we might be able to have a referral partnership. Because
what type of consulting do you do?
Yeah, so we do outbound sales, process, structure, strategy, and training. So a lot of firms are saying, hey, I'll do all the cold calling for you, outsource it, I'll set meetings for you. We're not saying that. We're saying, hey, if you have a team, we're going to make them into A players. If you don't have a team, we can start from square zero and build an outbound sales team. But what makes us different, David, is we have a very heavy focus on top of funnel, on outbound sales. So we're not sales consultants that are like, hey, we'll come in and help you close new business, help you strategically get in front of deals that are going to close right away. We're outbound sales. Is that complementary at all to what you offer?
Well, it could be because I don't do training per se, right? I'm not what I would call a professional trainer. I can't write any training documents. What I do for my clients is help them implement processes to help them improve their overall sales or revenue performance by using some tools that I've used in my career that have produced the results that that people want.
Sure.
So are you saying are you more of a training? I mean, help me here a little bit.
Totally. It's a valid question. We can help multiple types of companies, right? Sometimes we get introduced to an organization. They have 2 SDRs, 1 SDR. They have 2 AEs that are doing full cycle prospecting. But the common problem with all the organizations that we end up working with, or the ones that we introduce to, is top of funnel lead generation. Sure. And not like the problem is you want to bake it all the way down. The problem is they're not having enough conversations with prospective customers in their market. They're not having enough conversations, right?
I just got the reason I'm chuckling is I just hung up literally 30 seconds before you called. I just hung up with one of my clients who's having this exact challenge. The challenge that we may have is my consulting practice is focused solely on the market research industry because that's where I worked for 40 years. So I know it inside and out. And, what I will call a generic top of funnel program is not going to work here. This is not
Ashley.
What's that?
Yeah. Hey, Ashley, it's Ronen Pessar. Hey, look, I know nobody likes getting a cold call, especially not.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, why does it sound like there's a couple people on the call?
Dude, you bet. Happy skiing.
He hung up.
In the middle of a ski vacation.
Ronen, can you hear me?
Yes, I put the site on mute so that I could focus on her.
Dude, he heard you talking and he hung up on me. That was a really good lead. All right, so we're at the end of our broadcast. I'm going to go ahead and call this guy back after we hang up here. But Ronen, thanks for coming on.
Heck yeah, I'm stoked for this future that we're building here. We're gonna do some more hop on calls. That's for sure.
That's right. Big shout out to our title sponsor for this season of Hop On Calls, which was Kixie. If you guys have not looked into Kixie, go check them out. We're going to be changing sponsors coming back here in a few weeks. Really happy to relaunch the show, have a bit of a different angle to it, but it's all going to be focused on learning at a high level about outbound sales, cold calling, all this good stuff. Everybody stay tuned, and we will see you in a few weeks.
All right. Thanks, Kev.
All right. Cheers.
And that's all we got for today's episode of Hop On Calls, powered by Kixie. Be sure to tune into the live recordings every Tuesday on LinkedIn. Would love to have your comments, reactions, questions. It's a really good learning environment for anyone that is looking to do outbound sales better. If your organization is actively focusing on this, feel free to reach out to me, Kevin Hopp, on LinkedIn, or go to hopconsultinggroup.com. I'll see you next time. Cheers.